And some would suggest that today's game is like, well, Dortmund, it's just a matter of detail here and there. No, it isn't. It's the gap between these two teams is far deeper than just one goal. And I think it had to be a Bayern victory today, just to make sure that people understood that this is not that close of a race. It is not. It was never that close of a race. We had hope at the beginning of last week. And once again, Borussia Dortmund. It's not me saying it. Just watch the performances and watch the results and watch the attitude of this group, and you kind of go, yeah, they fought today, but is fight enough? No, you needed more than that. You needed more than that. I have somebody who won the league, knows that it's just not just about the fight. You have to add quality, and in moments that matter, you have to be able to defend. You cannot make mistakes. You cannot have unnecessary penalty kicks. And that was the case today. We talked about it in the pregame, that this is about details for Borussia Dortmund, and in the details, when it matters, more times than not, they come up short. Speaking about mistakes, I know he scored the opening goal, but we have to talk about Nico Schlotterbeck, because we saw all aspects of his game today in Der Klassiker.
That's true, that's true. I mean, we can also open the discussion if he should have been on the pitch to score that goal to begin with, because that foul before could easily have at least be discussed.
How did you see that foul before?
As a red card. I mean, looking at the replays, at the slow motions, there was a lot of contact, and this time came up short because he just lifted that foot and kind of tripped Stanisic. It's not much, but it's enough for Sven Jablonski, the referee, to call this a penalty. And you can't complain about it.
We will get more. Schlotterbeck, hold that thought.
Oh,
we are going to. Oh,
plenty.
Actually, seeing as though you have got plenty, you know what? Why not? Let's just go there now. We saw the whole spectrum of Schlotterbeck today.
Well, that's it. It's a Nico Schlotterbeck experience. And it's a wild ride. Sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's just like, what in the world is going on? Now, I think he's fortunate to stay on the field, because that challenge on Stanisic could easily have been a red card. And more times than not, it would be a red card. It wasn't today. That sort of challenge elevated, I guess, the energy and intensity of the team and the energy in the stadium. But then there are mistakes that you just cannot make. You're wearing the captain's armband. That should elevate the level of responsibility. You cannot be the one that is making the mistakes.
This conversation will continue, but we've got to get out to the pitch because Gregor Kobel is with Archie.
Okay, thank you very much, Greg. For us neutrals, that was quite a game to watch. You're on the losing side in the end. How was it for you to play in?
Yeah, like you said, it was a really nice energy on the field, especially in the first half as well. The fans were there, the crowd was incredible, and I think we put up an amazing fight. But now we are here and are really disappointed.
Thomas.
Well, it must be frustrating because for most parts your team played ever so well after the defeat against Atalanta, of course. Why is it so difficult against this Bayern team? What is missing to beat them?
I mean, it was little things, just amazing quality what they have at the end of the day, how they score the goals, how dangerous they are, just the quality they have in front of the goal. If you watch the goals we concede, it's just amazingly done by the players. And yeah, of course it's frustrating. I think we had our chances. I think we were in the game. It was a good fight. We put everything we had. You can see it with Emre as well. We lose Emre in the first half because he gives everything as well. Tries to play, doesn't matter how his body feels, and the whole team, I think, put up a great fight. And yeah, I think we would have put up a fight to get rewarded, but we didn't do that. That's football. Yeah, you have to accept that.
What did you do so well in the first half as a team? Because it felt like the game was played on your terms.
Yeah, exactly that. We said from the beginning that we will put up everything we have. We will give 100%. Yeah, make it difficult for them. Be physical, take the crowd, just put the energy up. And I think we did it. I think we did a good game. I think you can say this, that we played a good game today, but didn't win, and this is extremely frustrating.
How bitter is it when, for me, one of the moments of the game is 5 minutes before the end, where I think you as a player can feel the energy in this stadium, which is so unique, not just in German football, but in football. And yet, at the end of this week, you've had 3 very difficult results, which mean you're 11 points off the top. And given the ambitions that I'm sure you have as a player, there's not so much left to play for now this season?
No, it's yeah, it's just annoying. Yeah, it hurts. It hurts a lot. Yeah, it hurts a lot. That's all I can say so quickly after the game. Like I said, I think we played the game to reward us. We could have won this game. We didn't do this because they were extremely good. I mean, the finish from Kimmich for the 3-2 is an amazing finish. One touch into the top bins. So, yeah, I mean, we have to accept the result at the end. But yeah, it hurts a lot.
And just finally, how can you break the rhythm of this? Of course, Bayern have so much in terms of resources, but how do you break that as Dortmund?
The resources, I don't know. It's not my part of the game. I'm in the goal. I try to save. I try to help my team. The rest is not my business.
Greg, thank you.
Of course.
It's going to always hurt when you lose to Bayern.
Yeah, it's a disappointing week after all. It's 3 games where you couldn't achieve what you set out as an aim. And you were close, even though it's not a close race in the long course in terms of the championship, as many would have wished. Those games were individually manageable for a better outcome. And I say it once again, I thought the first half was, as Archie said, on Borussia Dortmund's terms. Yes, Bayern had possession, but they had Olise in check. They had Diaz mostly in check. Harry Kane wasn't really active. So they did a great job of doing the right things, and they scored the opener. The first 7-8 minutes of that second half, also, Adeyemi opportunity, I think once or twice, where he stumbled the ball for a goal kick. Svensson in good position, where he couldn't really connect with the ball early enough, and Tar blocked it. You score that second goal there, different ball game. But Borussia Dortmund didn't do that. And that's when Bayern comes with their quality. It's one good play. Gnabry finds Kane for the equalizer, and we know how it goes. It's a mental game after all, and Bayern was stronger the longer the game went on.
In the mental game, the physical game, and the quality game, there is no other club that is close to Bayern Munich in Bundesliga. But even more so, when you allow them to get back into the match, you open some opportunities. You don't pay attention to a free run by Sergio Gnabry. You don't track that run. And then you don't track the one player. If I had to tell Patrick or anybody here, the one player that you have to pick up inside the 18-yard box from Bayern Munich, it would be who? I'm sorry. Oh, it's a mystery. Let me guess. Oh, Harry Kane.
What, their top scorer?
Yeah.
The Bundesliga's top scorer.
Oh, yeah. Historically
by some distance.
I heard of him.
Yes,
I heard of him.
Somehow, Gnabry is open and Harry Kane is open. You can't have that happen. You just cannot have that happen if indeed you're going to contend. And it happens all too often for Borussia Dortmund.
Okay, yeah, and how to win a game as well. That goal, the winning goal for Bayern Munich, 3-2, it would finish over Borussia Dortmund. Archie Rhind-Tutt and Thomas Hitzlsperger have been pitchside at the Signal Iduna Park for us today. 2 losses for Dortmund this season in league play, Archie. Both of them coming to Bayern.
Indeed, Kay, and I can bring in now scorer of 2 goals today, once again.
Well, guys, you okay? You good?
Yeah.
Doing right? Very well, Harry. I'm sure you are too.
Absolutely.
I tell you what, for us, that was a breathtaking watch. For you, what was it like to play in?
Yeah, it was a great game. You know, first half was a little disappointing from our point of view. I felt like we had some good moments, but didn't use the ball well enough. But we also know in the second half, they may get a little bit tired. They had a tough week away from home midweek, and we just had to stay patient, and that's exactly what happened. We scored some good goals, disappointed to concede again, and but then to show the character and step back up, and a great finish from Yo at the end there. So a big game, a big moment in the in the title race. So it feels amazing right now.
But no disrespect, because you played well, you probably deserved to win. But there were moments when it was really, really tough. The crowd was behind Dortmund. What is it with your team this season that you always grind it out? You end up winning these games. What does it take?
Yeah, that's that championship mentality that you need to have. In the biggest moments, you need to be able to stay calm and play your game and not get carried away with the atmosphere. We knew it was going to be tough here. We knew the crowd were going to be behind them, and like you said, it probably wasn't our best game of the season, but we found a way to get over the line, especially when it went to 2-2 with 5 minutes plus stoppage time to go. It would have been easy to kind of maybe sit back and be under the cosh, but we stepped back up and then got a goal. And this type of result at this moment is really important.
What was said at half-time? What was the tone in the dressing room?
It was quite calm, to be honest. I think we knew we could play better with the ball, so we said just to be a little bit cleaner, a little bit sharper, because the spaces were there. Even in the first half, whenever we did break the press, we was pretty much through into their final third, and just to use the ball a little bit better. And I thought we'd done that second half. It still wasn't perfect. I felt we'll have to watch it back and see there's still areas to improve, 100%. But sometimes in these moments, in these games, it's just about finding a little bit more than the opposition, and that's what we've done today.
In all competitions, you have more goals than in either of your 2 seasons at Bayern already. It's March tomorrow, Harry. Do you know how many goals that is, by the way?
45?
Yes!
Yes, there we go.
A striker never forgets.
A striker knows, yeah.
How do you feel like you've said already that you feel you are the best version of yourself this season. How are you keeping that going? I guess by not thinking about it and just counting each goal as it comes?
Yeah, I think I've spoken a lot about this throughout my career. I think sometimes you go through spells as a striker where almost everything you touch goes into the back of the net. Whether you finish it well, whether you don't, it kind of just seems to go in. And there's times where you might go 2 or 3 without a goal. You're hitting everything clean, you're hitting the post, the keeper's making good saves. And it's important in both moments to stay calm, you know. I know in this team I'm going to get chances. Serge put one on the plate for me today. Stanley done well for the penalty. And, you know, I always try and step up and help my team in those situations. So, yeah, it's important not to get too carried away. But of course, use the moment, use the momentum that you're on. I look forward to every game. This month's been a little bit strange for us, not having midweek games, so you're kind of waiting to get back out there, and it'll be the same next week. So,
do you think you need a break between now and the World Cup final? Or let's start with the Champions League final and then the World Cup final, or you just keep playing as much as you can?
German here, right?
That's a long way away yet, but. Yeah, it sounds good to me, but yeah, there's a long way from now until then. Like we just said, we're not even in March yet. We're March tomorrow, and so many more games to play, both in all competitions. So we put ourselves in a great spot right now, and we have to use that. We have to enjoy that, but also get ready kind of for these next 3 months, because this is when the season really starts, when the big games start, and we need to be ready for that.
One last one. 11 points clear. How important is it to have that bumper as the team, given that last season in April, the team wasn't rotated at all from the Dortmund game to the Inter game? It gives a little bit more space to breathe, maybe?
Yeah, I think, of course, you want to have the biggest lead possible going into any busy period of the season, especially, you know, March, April, where Champions League knockout starts, not just physically, but mentally. It's draining on the team, international break in between that. So, yeah, you end up playing pretty much midweek all the way through. So, important to get that 11 points back, but also we know how quick it can turn around. We had that a few weeks ago. It only takes 2 results, and all of a sudden, you know, the pressure's back on. So it'll be no different. You can't win a game like today, like we did, and then not follow it up the next week. So we'll enjoy it for sure, but our focus will quickly switch onto the game Friday night.
Harry, thank you very much for your time, as ever.
Best, yeah.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
There we go. Harry Kane with us, Kay. Just get Thomas's thoughts briefly.
Yeah, I always think he needs a break at some point, but he's in this condition where he just wants to play more games. He just said it, only had a week of training, no game in between, and it almost feels like he needs more games. He wants to break records. He enjoys his football, and you can tell.
I still love the fact that you can be as good as Harry Kane and you still count every one of your goals.
How does it do it during the game? Does it say, oh, that's 44 now, 45?
There's something of, it's still the kid in him who's playing on this stage here.
And yet he never looks like he just looks after himself. He's there for the team, and that is really so impressive.
Every time. And I think he really enjoyed the battle that game was today as well. I mean, this is very much the calm after the storm, because it really was blood and thunder for so much of that game. And to come out of that and win from a Bayern perspective, you've mentioned it, but that must do something for this team, particularly with the even bigger challenges that they're going to face.
I'd say in the past, these games haven't always lived up to the expectation in terms of calling it Klassiker. Tonight, it was a Klassiker from the first minute to the very last.
The Dortmund side of the equation, 11 points they trail. Tomorrow is March, 10 games left in the season. What do they do with the rest of the season? They're going to be in the Champions League next season. So
Tonight's performance was so important, not the results, of course. The performance, that's everything that matters, because people wanted to see a response from being knocked out in the Champions League, and I think this team tonight, they proved that they've got everything that it takes. That's what people want to see. But of course, it's going to be tough waking up tomorrow morning thinking we're out of the DFB Pokal, we're not in the Champions League anymore, and they can start thinking about next season. But the players, for sure, they can look into the mirror saying we've given it our best shot, but we've lost to Bayern Munich side who've been exceptional this season.
Knowing a few Dortmund fans like I do, I think that they'll be going, but why could this team not turn up like this on Wednesday night? Why does it take that sort of serious defeat that they had to produce this? And how can you have this energy for the rest of the season? Because you and I know it. Do you expect that kind of level in the rest of the season? Because that's what serious teams do.
Very different to compare the second leg in the Champions League to tonight's game, because obviously they won the first leg 2-0, and then you go to Atalanta almost thinking, we're just going to see this out, see it through, and this didn't happen. And that was just that one moment where you think they weren't professional enough. But over the course of the season, this was only their second defeat in the Bundesliga, twice against Bayern. You have to give them credit as well. This season in the Bundesliga, for sure, is not as bad as people often think.
Thomas, thank you very much for now. Joshua Kimmich with a cold, cold finish right at the end to win it for Bayern. Probably clinched the title as well, Kay. 11 points clear with 10 games to go.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that, but I just want to get back to the Harry Kane point. I thought a goal scorer always knew his tally. That was no surprise to me, Ale.
Oh, absolutely not. Of course he knows. And the reason as to why he's asking about, hey, maybe we should play Wednesday, Saturday, that he was missing, is because you're scoring 2 goals a game. See, when you're scoring 2 goals a game, you don't even feel that you're running. You're flying. And at this point in his career, Harry Kane knows himself so very well. Just doesn't sacrifice it. You know what? I'm here to score goals, and he's still doing that at a very high level.
Something I love that you talked about in the pre-game, Patrick, was that even you're still learning things that continue to impress you about Harry Kane's game.
Yeah, as Alice said, he's a complete striker, and I obviously knew about Harry Kane and how good he is and how his scoring ability is, but he does so much more on the pitch, as Ale also mentioned. I really like how he's sometimes appearing deep in defense, winning situations for Bayern, and then creating transition counter-attacks for his team with a long ball, kind of like a quarterback in American football. And so there's something of his game that I didn't know about, that he would do that. I thought he's a typical number 9 waiting for a situation, scoring goals, but he does so much more for that. And he's so clever with doing that, pulling out of areas to give his teammates a little bit of room, and then following back up to be there in the right kind of moment to finish the job.
And bottom line, he's having fun.
Yeah.
See, at this level, the game becomes sometimes a business. It becomes about pressure. It becomes about the expectations. And you forget about why is it that you do it to begin with. It's because it's fun to play. And these people show up here because it's fun to watch people play, to watch these players out on the field display their skill set. And it's fun to be a kid again. And I get that sense from Harry Kane. Yeah. It's just fun to show up for training. It's just fun to show up at matches. 1, because you know you're going to get service. 2, because you know you're going to score goals. And 3, you know you're going to win games more times than not. It's fun to be Harry Kane right now.
We don't even need to have the conversation about the Bundesliga title at this point with 11 points, surely. 10 games.
9?
And as Archie has clearly made us know, it is March tomorrow. That's been mentioned a few times. But I do want to talk to you, Ovo, about their chances in the Champions League this year. It is hard to make a case against them, isn't it?
It is, but still, it's the Champions League. There are a lot of teams that have quality, and they punish you right away if you do make mistakes. And we talked about it. Bayern has offered a few things every now and then amongst certain teams. And I think this, if I look back on the recent weeks after that Augsburg defeat, that Hamburg draw, they had a little bit of luck, I'd say, against Hoffenheim. In the end, it was a 5-1. But that early penalty and that early red card against Akpoguma helped them. There was, in the cup, I think it was against Leipzig, a decision that didn't go against them for a penalty maybe for Leipzig. So they had a few games that in the end looked really solid and really well played, but they had a little bit of help. This was the first game where they really took their chances in their own hand. And probably deserved the win in the end because they played it well, they played it clever, and they went against some circumstances. So now I think they're on the right path. But in Champions League, you can't offer anything. Not to City or Real Madrid if you make it to the next round. And after that, it's maybe Chelsea, Paris Saint-Germain, or Liverpool that's waiting for you. So there's still a long way and a tough job, but the team has all the ingredients that they need to win the Champions League as well.
They have the belief as well, surely, in that chemistry, because there doesn't seem to be any fractions at all in this group, Ale.
Look, again, when it's fun to show up for work, you like the guy next to you. When you're winning games, everybody's great inside that locker room. Everybody's fun. When you're losing, I don't want to be with him. I want to go back to my house. I don't want to hang out with anybody that has anything to do with the team because it's not fun to be around each other. That's not the case at Bayern Munich. They're obviously enjoying the season. As it pertains to the latter stages of Champions League, we mentioned in the pregame, defending set pieces is a problem. It proved to be the case again today. They allow yet another defensive set piece goal. If we're going to project forward, again, latter stages of the competition, Arsenal may very well be there. What is it that they do better than anybody else in the world right now? Attacking set pieces. They depend heavily on that. It's a detail. And yet it can be such a big difference in a game where two teams are evenly matched. So, as I project Bayern Munich and what they can do, they have to clean that up. If they do, they'll be very much part of the conversation. If they don't, then you know what the answer is. 9.
Yeah. We will continue the conversation on Bayern Munich all season, or what's left of it, especially on ESPN FC. And of course, you can follow along with our Bundesliga coverage every single weekend. It's an 11-point advantage for Bayern Munich at the top of the table. Behind them, the team who've only lost twice all season, and that would be 2 times to Bayern Munich.